Where stream, he says. Always on the dot we are. What you mean where stream, huh? Stream is at 1. Stream starts at 1. Huh? Nice and simple. Easy to understand. So, yeah. We are about to make probably the strongest Chizuru I've ever made. And it's going to be kinda nasty. I show you 2 decks, and together we'll be building the third. These decks are very, very cultured, you might say. So, let's start with Shizuru. We'll be using our on-stream build. Basic attack Shizuru. I think I built that on stream. Did I? I don't know. But what we have is we have a Karmic Flames Exhaust. We have the Tsukuyomi weapon upgrade, meaning these 2 cards will disappear after their first payment, meaning we can't draw them. We have a Bound of Dusk with 2 cost reduction for other combatant cards and 1 morale, so 20% damage bonus. We have 4 copies of the Oni Hunt Basic Attack Creation Epiphany. Yo, the Goji one, what's up, what's up? With the Divine Draw 1. Right? So we have the Divine Draw 1, we have that 4 times. We have ourselves the Intellect of Discord for plus 18% attack. And I think these 2 are kind of irrelevant for the most part, right? Like, Shrooms, we could use them at some point in the future, and getting a shield, hey, it is what it is, right? I want to know, do you stream on another platform? YouTube, right? We are live on YouTube as well. If you're curious about that, you can just search for WGCZN on YouTube and you would find it. So, yeah, let me quickly catch up on the chat. So, yeah, let's see. Yo, Rin in, Hayes DR, Lucas Dominguez, Iami77, Rebus TV, Emrex, Ioni Speak Facts, Juan Carlo, Griff 666, Ender 2310, Yami, Bitoa, Hazer, Yabuki, Odin of Midgard. So, that is our base, right? That is our base Shizuru. We have in total 5 cards that can be drawn, right? This card disappears on first usage, can't be drawn, it exhausts itself. This card is an upgrade card, can't be drawn. This card is an upgrade card, can't be drawn. 4 cards, 4 Oni Hunts, but they all have draw 1. And then we have a Shadow of the Moon, right? So, that is that. Let me show you what Shizuru is looking like. She has maximum basic card potential. She has maximum unique card potential. We have the maximum basic card upgrade potential. And obviously we have crit chance and crit damage, as well as also the damage amount to bind cards, right? Memory fragments. We have probably the strongest Shizuru set available on the market at the moment, and that is plus 30% damage to void cards that have a hit count of 2 or more. Important here, Shizuru's Moon Slash is a 2-hit card. Shizuru's basic attack is a 2-hitter, meaning we're getting plus 30 for each hit. And then we have a 25% crit damage. The overall stats are 56 on 202 on almost 800 attack. There's a couple weak link pieces in here, like for example this one. I kind of want a bit more crit damage. This one here is quite good. The only problem is maybe the defense roll. This one here decided to not roll health and defense, but at some point we'll fix that. This one's pretty good. This one's pretty good. And this one's pretty good as well. So, that is the Shizuru set. That is the Shizuru situation. We have her with her partner Itsuku that now has the 8% attack buff, 15% attack card stacking, and also every time an attack card is used that deals 3 hits, which is a bit unfortunate, we get the fixed damage. They should reduce that to 2, but oh well. So yeah, that's Itsuku, right? Now, this is only half the sauce. Get ready for this. Yep. We have a Naja, and this Naja has basic attack card unique, which means our basic attacks deal 50% more damage and will always have Veracity 30% damage buff. The upgrade card disappears after playing it. Mealtime will always be 0 cost. Shackles of Hunger, we will always have enough Veracity to consume, to generate predation and boost our Shadow of the Moon by 200% per hit. And look at this card. 3 Veracity. Next 2 times Veracity is activated, decrease cost of 1. Draw 1. Which means overall, just between Chizuru and Naja, we have 5 playable cards versus 4 playable cards, because these cards have retain, meaning they would stay in our hand, but realistically let's call it 6, right? We have 6 cards here, 5 on Chizuru, we draw 5 at the start of our turn, and also we have 8 draw in between Bottomless Hunger and Oni Hunts, right? We draw a lot, but they also cost nothing. Exactly. And now, who will be the final piece? Y'all should already know who's gonna be the final gemstone to finish off this triple deck section. Put it in the chat, come on. Huh? Little quiz. Who's gonna be the final piece? Everybody who doesn't say the right name should be ashamed for the next 20 seconds. Rin or Leah? Oh no. Maylin? Oh no. Oh no. Owen! Oh no. Oh no. What kind of community have I fostered? Oh no. But yeah, obviously it's the Queen Ray. Let me show you the type of cooking we'll be doing. First off, we will get ourselves the 150% basic attack multiplicative damage bonus. Okay? That is step number 1. 150% multiplicative basic attack damage bonus. Step number 1. Step number 2. We're going to get ourselves either the 40% void card damage or the 40% 1 or less cost, because Shizuru's cards are all obviously void, or the swords that we create are 0 cost, right? Now comes this snack time is unimportant, but the more draw it has, the better. If we can, I want to get this with a neutral epiphany with morale, right? A neutral epiphany with morale, allowing us to get even more morale. That'd be optimal, right? For a single turn, plus 50% damage amount of void attack cards, plus 50% damage bonus to every single hit of every single Shizuru 2-hit basic attack cards, of who will be at minimum playing 8 every turn, on top of 3 or 4 Shadow of the Moons every single turn. And now comes the best part. We can copy this. We can get upwards of plus 200% damage bonus on every single void card hit for every single turn. Yep. And then to round it out, we also have the ability to gain a further plus 80% for one turn. So the question here is, we either find ourselves a good snack time with a draw divine or maybe a cost reduction divine, or we go with Predator's Blade. I'm still not entirely too sure. I don't even know if we're hunting divines here or if we just want to get the card in the first place, but that is what I came up with. And that is what we're trying to put together, right? That is the final deck to finish off what we started, right? It began with our Shizuru deck. Then we built our Naja deck. Oh yeah, also, let me show you divines farming this season. They might look scary, but it really ain't that difficult, right? It really ain't that difficult. Yeah, I can show you my Naja memory fragments, no problem. But, yeah. So, my Naja at the moment, she's running 50% Judgment of Flames, damage for instant cards against Ravage targets. We can discuss this. It's not that important. And then also 25% critical damage. But yeah, stat-wise, we are at 59.7 on 181. And our Shizuru is on 56 on 202 on 700 attack. With the Void 2-hit set and 25 crit damage. Hey, I really became a member. Thank you very much. Means a lot. Appreciate it. So, it's time we build a Ray. And how about we take Shizuru, Naja, and Ray into the seasonal chaos and see if we can still come out ahead. See if we can still make this a success. How are you getting 4 copies of the same card? The first copy you get from beating the first boss. The second copy you get from going to as many question marks as possible in the interior. And the third copy you get from beating the final boss. Once I get the Ray deck, will I make a video showcasing the team? Obviously. But we'll also try to showcase multiple ways of playing Shizuru. And that is because we already farmed all the way back on the 8th, I think. No, not this one. All the way back on the 6th, we already farmed the stacking version. Here we have the 2-hit version, plus 4 stacking Oni hunts. And here we have the 4 stacking Tsukuyomis with 1 stacking Oni hunt. But I might try to optimize this by finding something like a Divine on Tsukuyomi or Divine on Oni hunt. I don't know, we still have to see. You want to see how to reach 50%? The math for 50% crit chance is quite easy. So, you start with 13% from the potential. Important, if you want high crit chance, max out a character's crit potential. It's your biggest source, your easiest gain. So, you have 3% base, 10% from the potential. So, that's 13%. Just by using a necklace, you already get 27%, putting you at 40% total, meaning the way to 50 is you need on average 2% crit chance on every single one of these 5 pieces. You could get 4% on one, 0% on the other, 1.5 on one, 2.5 on the other, but if you want to get to 50%, you need to average 2% crit chance on all 5 pieces. That is not the necklace, because the necklace can't get crit chance, right? So getting to 50% is an average of 2%, getting to 60% is an average of 4%, and anything above 60, you're either called Rin or you never get there. Usually. What card should be removed on Shizuru? Only the basics. Only the basics is what I would usually remove. Like Moon slash Spirit Flame Ward. But what I'm thinking about at the moment is potentially Bound at Dusk. Sometimes if you want to make a more general build. And I'm not entirely sure if there would be a benefit to removing Shadow of the Moon. I really don't know. I really don't know if there would be like any use in removing that card. New Void set actually worth farming. If you want to play Ray If you want to play Shizuru or Rin at highest damage, it's worth it. If you want the highest damage Void set for either Rin or Shizuru, then you need to farm the Orb of Inhibition. Now that they've buffed it, it's the supreme choice for the two of them. Alright. Let's take on the Chaos and see if we can finish off this Ray build. Eight elite areas, -50 health by 30. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. -70 credits. I can live without. Both Tyrant and credits? Hell no. No. Like, the two things I like to avoid in general are negative credits and Tyrant. Those are the most dangerous / the ones that can prevent you from building the deck you want. Like, even if you try to dodge all the elites, Cthulhu will still be 50%, like 40% stronger. It's not necessarily about the health, it's about the damage. It's about for how much they actually hit you with the Tyrant buff. Yeah, 180 Faint Memory is a breeze for save data, I agree. We're not really getting favorable maps so far. Luckily, we'll only need to get one map, and the only time I'll ever complete the map is to finish off the deck. So it's all kind of a bit like a bit of an investment, you could say. Ah, shit. Like, can we, like, not get the combination of Tyrant and negative credits? We might just have to take a Tyrant map. Because as annoying let's see. 8 elites, -60, 2 fortitude, discard a card. It'd be possible. I mean, we just have to see if we can get like a credit fate. A credit fate would be quite nice. So if I wanted to build Ray the easiest, the safest, I'd probably run this team. 9, Serenial and Ray. But are we about to build safe and easy? I don't know. Maybe not. Let's try it like this. Let's see what happens. DDC 1-turn kill barrel? Yeah. Alright, what kind of options do we have? 100 credits, increased max health. You know what? Increased max health, why not? So we take increased max health, we take 100, we take the cost reduction. Good enough. You're using distortion? Yeah. It's free stats. Like, if your characters aren't fully potentialed, distortion is just free stats. What about this? 400 credits. Credit rewards no longer appear. We are already on negative 60% credits. So this might actually be a net gain. So yeah, let's start with 500 credits. So let's see pathing. Avoid campfires early, and we want to make our way into the arena. Which means the best way to do all of this is to go down, up, through, and then down. Right. Doesn't distortion mode say it disables memory fragment set stuff? I mean, we can have a look, right? And you'll see, even though my distortion is enabled, I still have my Orb of Inhibition void set, right? The real way this distortion works is only if your characters are lower than the level. Like, the only time distortion ever changes your memory fragments is when your character is is either completely ungeared or lower level than what distortion pushes you up to. Right? That's the only time they'd ever, like, do something to your gear sets. Like, for example, look, our Ray is on level 50, which is why we have 31% crit chance. It's a weird way to build a Ray, but that's what distortion does to supports. Don't ask. I could not answer. But yeah, for your main DPS, especially when they're level 60, the only thing it does is max out your character's potential at no cost to you. Right? Like, the only thing you get is maxed out potentials without having to pay any price. Pretty awesome. We are playing negative 60% credits, yeah. Why the enemies have 1 health? It's one of our... Ooh, no. Okay, this might already be a case for re-epiphany. You know what? No, this is actually better. Increases damage amount of basic attacks by 100. And 2 morale. Because the 2 morale is not just going to apply to the basics. It's actually also going to apply to... Shadow of the Moon. So we actually gain more value out of 100% basics and 2 morale than we would gain out of 150% basics. Probably. Especially because the base damage of our basics is less than 100%. Have I met Kricken directly? I would have to start a divine map for that. I haven't done that yet. We will do that at some point. And it will be kind of like a blind first view experience for these divine maps with their new modifiers and difficulty and whatnot. Do I have an updated Rin guide? I will be working on Rin after, like, I'll be getting on with Rin. There's some very funky stuff you can do with her. That was a weird way of saying it. Pause. But I work on a Rin guide, right? I work on a Rin guide, just haven't played her much this season yet. Alright. It is kind of frustrating to have discard 1 card. Because we are not playing Serenial. That means we don't have like 2 extra cards. So every time a card gets discarded, it's actually kind of deadly for us. It's actually kind of deadly. Discard 1 with 9 will kill you? Not quite. Not if you bring E2 Serenial. Because if you bring E2 Serenial, you have a chance that it doesn't discard 9 Sue, but that it discards one of the homing lasers instead. And if you want to be even safer, then you get yourself, super realistic, super easy to get. Then you just get yourself E2 9, and then 9 will get an extra card at the start of every turn. And that extra card could at the start of the battle, and that card could also be the thing that you discard turn 1. And due to it having retain, it would even come back into your hand. Who would you say has the most complicated kit so far in the game? I think the one that's probably the hardest to understand on a glimpse and pull off properly must be Renoa. Like, and probably also because her best kit features another one of those potential hardest decks, you could say. And that is due to it being, let me see if we can we should be able to kill him here. And due to that being Nia. So it's probably between Nia and Renoa in terms of trying to make them work properly, you could say. Is the new order set good for Luke? No, it's garbage for Luke. You can stay, and you should stay with the old order set. What kind of characters do you think the new banner... I would rank the next character as either a ranger or a psionic, just based on the character's build. She might be a controller, but I doubt it with us already having gotten Naja that closely, right? Alright, let's do that again. And then the final character, I don't know. I would love for her to be a striker, but I feel like she's going to be a passion character, so we might just see our first passion controller in the cat lady. One sec here, proof, very important. If you don't know who I'm talking about, there you go. Nice and simple. All right. Okay, we got Dark Condensation. Does Renoa work good with 9? Not necessarily, because you don't want to exhaust her exhaust cards, you want to discard them. If you somehow find a way to make it worth it to exhaust her exhaust cards, then sure. But you don't really do that much. Why do I have that picture on demand? Hey, because it's relevant, right? That's why. Rita's style was similar style with Milia from Close Beta. Maybe. Would you say Scarlet is the best general striker partner? I would say so, yes. Especially now with the extra attack percentage buff that she gained. Definitely. First Passion Vanguard? No, first Passion Controller. If you can tell me a Passion Controller, then congratulations. I must have missed someone, but I doubt it. You gotta lock and load it for the thumbnails when they start teasing her. Gotta stay ready. What's the strat for the new season wormhole thing? Because you want the buffs on the good gear, right? You always want to go into the arena, and let me tell you why. It's a very simple reason. If you've played last season, you know the dimensional tunnel, you go in, and it takes you forward on the map, right? And you might miss out on events, and you might miss epiphanies, and yada yada, blah blah blah. But that is not the case with the arena this season. You go in, you get 2 fights for free, extra gear, and arena stats, while not moving on the map. The arena icon is the same swirl as Lab Zero. Bro, you've been building Shizuru for 4 days now, haven't you got a good build yet? Not quite. I played Chizuru on the 6th. Then I went back to just doing more 9 and Orlea strategies. And then I built Naja yesterday. And now today we are building Ray. So I feel like we're quite on track. Any good tips for a Selena deck? Oh, there's so many, but try out a Mark build. They buffed her unique card to make Mark even stronger. Okay. If we can get a Divine here, that'd be huge. Okay, it's just a new card. That's fine. If we get a Divine... But one thing though. If we get a Divine Oni hunt, we might actually have to build Shizuru this run instead of Rei. Okay, it's just a normal one. Oh. What should we pick? Probably 1 cost or less, right? Like 1 cost or less so that it applies to the entire team. We only have 1 attack card. We only have 1 attack card on Naja, and it's going to be 1 or less when we play it. So we should go with 1 or less because plus 40 to void damage. We don't really play any costly void damage ones. It's a tiny difference, but it comes out to be the same thing. Yeah. Death forgot to buff Yuki. No, they did buff her, and we will play Yuki. Don't you worry about that. They did buff her, and we will play Yuki. What be the difference between 1 and 2? 1 is for cards that cost 1 or less. 2 was for cards that cost exactly 1, but giving increased damage, increased shield, and increased healing. But it requires the cards that are played to be 1 cost. Alright, we get even. Look at our credits. Look at our credit counter. So even. So satisfying. Yuki's buffs are noticeable, but she really wants a deck that cycles quickly. That should all be able to be arranged. It should all be very much possible. Yuki was already good enough for our content, she's even better now. Agreed. What's the best divine for Serenia homing laser? AP. Unquestionably, AP Epiphany on any of the move to hand on Ravage lasers. So on the destroy one, on the 3-1, or even on the move to start at hand. If you want to go like super perfectionist, then you want to pick either the destroy one or the move to hand at start of the turn, with both of them being kind of insane. Okay, which kind of epiphany do we get this turn? Bottomless Hunger and Voluntary Control. But one of them actually just gives us a new card. Have you seen or played Haru this season? When the patch notes dropped, everyone said Haru was going to be a lot better, but I haven't seen anyone try at all. It's because she's in a very similar class to what 9 does. Like, most, if not all of what 9 can do, Haru will do in a attack-based instead of defense-based environment. Huh? Alright, so I do believe we're not going to take an arena perk here, at least not onto Rei, and that is just in case that we do get a divine. We cannot afford to have any arena perks here. So we'll put these arena perks on our other characters to increase our chances of beating the run. Nothing comes to mind. I've been thinking how I should make a Luke deck this season. It's either getting Retrieve with 0 cost or Quad Reload Exhaust with AP cost reduction. No. The most consistent Luke build is getting the 3 shooter at 0 cost. Get the 3 shooter at 0 cost. because the retrieve version will always be limited to turn 1 Whew! I thought we were about to get a good. I thought we were about to get a good bottomless hunger and I'd have to build Naja. So yeah, we don't have to build Naja. Woohoo! What seasonal partner am I taking? I'll probably get myself a copy of Serathea. Well, I'll probably get myself a copy of Serathea. Alright, sweet. Best Renny build on Season 2 and Season S0 is same, especially for homing laser. I don't know what to go for. A Divine Epiphany. Get a Divine Epiphany AP homing laser and don't look back. It's that simple. AP homing laser Serenial is probably still the strongest build in the entire game. Alright, snack time. What we get? Okay. Select and exhaust up to 2 cards in hand. Select and draw 1 void card. Select and exhaust up to 1 card in hand, then draw for each exhausted. Select and exhaust up to 2 cards in hand, then draw for each exhausted. I think we're gonna go with the draw pile one. Because the draw pile one you can cancel without having to select anything. Yeah, I think that might just be the call here. And that means we won't have to like delete any of our good cards just to make space. Vulnerability on homing laser not good. Still really good vulnerability on homing laser, don't get me wrong, but you can get the homing laser from the outside and nothing be like, think about a scenario like this, okay? You fight one enemy. You attack him with 4 homing lasers. That's 4 AP. The enemy breaks. The homing lasers come back. That is 8 AP. And now you use the Shining Star laser. You know, the 2-cost card that allows you to play more homing lasers that have been played. All of a sudden you go from 4 AP to 8 AP to 12 AP. 12 AP at 0 cost, at 0 effort. You're not beating that. Yo, hi Sky Scott, what's up, what's up? Alright. Does an arena perk affect the divine chances? No. There's no difference between having 10, having 12, having 15, having no arena perks, it all is the same odds. But what does affect divine chances is your skill tree. Or your upgrade section where you can get up to, I think it's what, 15% higher divine chance? Just got Naja, is there a better build for this season or should I use the S1 builds? I mean, what is this quote-unquote S1 build, right? Like, based on whose advice are you building what kind of build, right? Like, what even is the... Has somebody taken a look at our max HP? Tell me that isn't kind of insane. 2,737 max HP? That is kinda nuts. That is kinda nuts. We are almost undying. So, can we still get another Ray card? We can't. Okay, Epiphany Prayers. Divine Epiphany Dark Condensation on the Void variant, or just the Void variant? I'm not entirely too sure if we need it to be divine. Okay, we found the Void variant. Did I take a max HP fade? Yeah, at the beginning of the run we got 20% max HP from starting the stage. Newbie here, may I ask about refinements that say at the start of the battle? It lasts the entire battle, but it checks the condition at the start of the battle. So it's kind of like if it says at the start of the battle, if you have 18 cards or more, which is actually mistranslated, it should say 18 cards or less, then at the beginning of the battle it checks this one time to see do you meet the condition, and then the boost will last for the entire battle. Time for another chaos at early in the morning 3 times in a row. How can I upgrade choice? The last one I rest, but I need more pieces. You can reset. You can reset your skill tree and just focus on one category, allowing you to unlock every boost in every category a lot earlier. You're here for some late night CCN? Hell yeah, indeed. So we should be able... Look at our credits. 740 credits. You can't quite see it due to chat, but... we're swimming in credits. So, is there any epiphany I would want to change right here, right now? How do we already have all our cards epiphanied? Like... we haven't even made it to the first boss yet. That's pretty sweet. So, we are going to try again to hit a divine version of Dark Condensation. Nope. Which means we skip. No divine, no deal. You always remove Strike of Darkness. Yeah, but for us, Strike of Darkness will actually be what we build our entire deck around, to a degree, you could say. Also good Shizuru build this season, you have two options. At the moment you have two options. You do basic attack Shizuru, or you do stacking Shizuru. Stacking Shizuru involves the Shadow of the Moon extra hits combined with the Oni Hunt that adds damage to the next Shadow of the Moon used. Whereas basic attack Shizuru involves the Oni Hunt that creates 2 basic attacks. Yeah. That's basically the core. Huh? That's the core. Support Chizuru. That sounds like somebody being funny and deleting a bunch of Chizuru cards and only keeping in the Bounded Dust card. That's what I think of when somebody says support Chizuru. Who's stronger post buffs, Ren or Shizuru? I don't know, but what I can tell you is that Shizuru definitely got buffed more than Ren did. Right? I can't tell you much, but that's what I can tell you for a fact. Oni Hunt is such a goated card. Predator's Blade would be more damage. Yeah, Predator's Blade multi-copy it is. And we would also get a hit, so I'd be able to get around the problem of not being able to... Yeah, this could be really nasty. Yeah, this could be proper disgusting. Okay, looks like we're actually trying to now squeeze as much value in terms of save data cards into this Ray as possible, due to us not having a lot of divines. Yeah. You know what? We could even cut. We could cut Dark Condensation, which would mean one less card to draw. That could work. I don't know. Yeah. But what if we would be able to play every Predator's Blade and Dark Condensation? Right? Because then we would be cutting out extra value. Like, this deck is not a hard deck to build, what we have right here. So we might as well take a risk, keep it in, and if we don't have enough draw power, then we can think about how we can correct our mistake, so to speak. I don't just dream of them, you see them. Like, we are very close to making something like this actually a reality. By the way, does Tentacle Chaos affects deck? Yes. Can you please check this Naja deck, how good it is? You pinned it to me on Discord. Alright. Why not? Is this a perfect Naja deck? We have 6 Veracity, so the best Veracity gain upon draw. You have Morale on Domain of Veracity. You have Fortitude on Voluntary Control. And you have 4 copies of, in total, 12 AP value. Yes, pretty much a perfect deck, but you need to get draw, right? You need to get draw from elsewhere so that you can use all this AP you have there. But you can absolutely use this together with the 9. You could use this together with the Kayron. Kayron is very much going to benefit from a deck like this. What you could have also done is you could have changed Jackets of Hunger. Because look, Veracity. You could have changed Jackets of Hunger into its Retain version that allows you to consume Veracity to grant Predation and a damage buff for an attack card. That's something you could have done. Doesn't need to happen, but could have been. And this might have been better if it got 1 draw instead of 2 Fortitude, or maybe just its full version. But it's nitpicking. It's a pretty good deck, but you can definitely improve on it. And then gear-wise, damage increase. You only have, I mean, you do have 3 attack cards, so the damage increase, it works decently well. But for what you're building here, maybe some support items with luck. Pure luck from the arena perks could have been better. Whoops. There we go. Alrighty. We have a run to win. So I've heard. What are we hunting for? We're building a Ray. We're building a pretty simple Ray, then we'll test her out, and then we'll see if we need to make the Ray any better or not, right? Are you gonna convert a card to Ebony Lumen if the event pops up? Yeah, no. What I need is a non-temporary source of draw. I need a way to draw that isn't a temporary card. I mean, okay, we did just get it pop up right here. So we do have the option. We do have the option to change Dark Condensation into the draw card, which would give us a lot of draw, but only for like the first turn or two. And I don't know if we need that. Like, I don't think we need the extra draw from an Ebony Lumen. What I want is a deck, or a deck combo, that is able to play all its cards every turn with consistency, rather than starting to fail once we run out of draw cards, right? What should we do with Moment of the Radiant Heroes? Moment of the Radiant Heroes are your best bet at saving up for a limited character, because once the limited character comes out, you'll be able to buy 2 dupes and its partner. So if you want to be as prepared for any limited character in the future, you want to start working your way towards 1100, which is 400 per copy plus 300 for the partner. But obviously anything in the 400 margin, anything in the 300 region is good, because it allows you to either get the partner without having to summon for him or get an additional copy of a limited unit. That is what I would recommend most of you do with yours. 1100 is a lot. Yeah, it is a lot. But let me give you an example. On average, you get 10 moments of Radiant Heroes per 10 pull. But that's not quite true, because you know what? Yeah, with the 6-star, the average is actually closer to, I would say, 13. You get around 13 per 10 pull, which means if you do 100 summons, you get 130. So it's going to take you it's going to take you like 250 summons to get enough to guarantee a partner without having to summon. And to get to 1100, you're going to take around, I don't know, 600 summons, but it's definitely something you just build up over time, right? So I ended up with a nice Mika deck going for a 9 flash build. Can you post a link? Discord. Not really fine. Oh yeah, on Twitch, look below, there's like a Discord item. Click on that, you should get the link for the Discord, join the Discord, and add WG in the chat, and then we can have a look if you want to. So, enough yapping. We're not going to take the Ebony Lumen. Can anybody tell me of a card that is not temporary that could give us draw? Is there any card like this that we have access to on a controller? A card to provide us with draw without the card being exhaust. Does that even exist? Gearback has exhaust. Reorganize also has exhaust. What was the name of... They also put exhaust onto the 3 action count card with haste. They also put exhaust on that. Rally is now exhaust. Quick Draw is Rangers. I had an idea. Ladies and gentlemen, I just had an idea. I have a card, and that card is going to be outrageously useful in our deck. You can take the time until we get to the next shop, or until I find it, to see if you can guess which card I thought of. Alright? Let's see if until we get there, any of you can guess which card did I just think of that is going to be insane. In my opinion, we have to see if it really will be insane for the deck that we'll be building. Let me give you a hint. We can get it from a shop. We can get it from a shop. That is where we can get that card. And it can be dropped in this run. And it can be put on Ray. It can be put on Ray. It can be dropped on this run. It's not negotiate. It needs to be able to go on Ray. Alright, I need to decide which path we take to get... Oh, there's 3 shops here. Holy shit. If we can't get this card in 3 shops, then I don't want it. Forced learning is exclusive to Lab 0. Right? The same is true with Forbidden Portrait. Would also be exclusive. Right? I don't think we can get forced learning here. You know what would be awesome? Imagine if I was able to think so far ahead that me giving you this riddle was only my attempt to get some ideas, right? Imagine if I was that smart. Imagine I was here asking you to spam a bunch of cards so that I can have a look at them to see if I can get any new ideas to put into this run. Huh? Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be the move of the century? W bait, but no, it isn't bait. It's not an exhaust card. It's a card that does not exhaust itself. The card does not have the exhaust tag. So, seeing as how we're done with the arena, the card I'm thinking of is a upgrade card. The card I am thinking of right now is a upgrade card. What card could I be thinking of? Yep, it is not really. Obviously, so I've seen the card in chat already. I'm just not gonna tell you where, and I'm not gonna tell you what. But you'll hopefully see it the next time we get to a shop. Is that Cthulhu? Let's go! Okay, so, Cthulhu, I want for Christmas a 1 in 6 hit on the 8% attack dagger. Thank you very much, Cthulhu. Please provide me with the 6 attack, yeah. 8% attack dagger weapon thing. That is all I want for Christmas. Thank you. So it's a 1 in 6 chance for us to hit that. Will we be able to do so though? Hard to tell. Is it worth us taking the stress damage here to inflict more damage? I would say so. I mean, look at those attacks. Holy shit. Cthulhu is dying. Totally worth taking the damage. Because now we'll be able to beat him faster. Hey, thank you, brother Cthulhu. You know, sometimes we really do see eye to eye on a lot of matters. I can't be grateful enough. 1 in 6, we hit those. We win those. We win those. Alright. Give me legendary equipment. Let's see, what can we get? Shrooms. We might find a way to use shrooms for her, but no. Let's go. Alright. The attack card, the card that I'm looking for is not here on the screen right now. It is not here either. It is not here either. Nope. Nope. Okay, we have not found the card I'm looking for. Now, will I use this opportunity to re-epiphany a card to try to get a better outcome? The only thing I can think of is getting a snack time with 1 morale neutral epiphany. That'd be the only... training. Now, this puts me in a bit of a bind. Because I don't know if we should. I didn't mean and I didn't think of Spore Harvester. But we could definitely try and sneak a Spore Harvester into the raid deck. I do not see why not. We should have the save data cost. We should have the cap. And if worst comes to worst, I just fully exhaust the spores. I don't really see a reason for us not to take them. Right? Like our save data on Ray is 60. So I did not mean the spores. Which means we need to go to the next shop. To see if we can find it then. Oh! Gear. Modified gear. You know what? Oh, no, wait. Fuck, no, that'd be horrible. No, that's horrid. No. We're not doing that. We're not trading Veiled Thorn for the Cthulhu weapon just because of this arena buff, of this buff. Nope. Nope. No, not on my watch. Not on my watch. We're not doing that. Give me the dice roll. I don't think we really have much to Divine Epiphany, but I mean, that's kind of fun. Look at this card. Initiation, applies Cursed Shackles, creates Shadow of the Moon and draws you one. Okay. Spore Rin build. Okay, morale. Hey, nice. 1 morale. Sweet. 20% damage bonus to all our Shizuru actions. Okay. So far, so good. Let's see if we can get it on the next shop. Let's see if we can find the card I'm looking for on the next shop. Veiled Thorn is free credits. Okay, where do I need to go to get the most amount of shops? Does not make a fucking difference, but one of them can give us more question marks, which seems like a good idea. Okay. It is not here. But this chess piece is tasty. This chess piece we might actually pick up. Heart of Gold. Why not? Nope. It's not here either. Come on. Where's the... Please. And it's not here either. Ah, come on. This is such a big brain idea. Come on. It can't be that we can't find the card, right? I don't want another spore. Should we take another spore harvester? I mean, at this point, the game really tries to force these fuckers down our throat. And we can think about that once we get to the final shop. Maybe we find another one. Maybe we find another normal card selection. One among 3 random neutral cards. Hit me, bro. Nope. Not here either. Oh, shit. Who knows? Maybe we get another selection on the next... Ah, fuck. We need to hit a copy event as well. That would be quite important. Finding a copy event would actually be of... sufficient relevance. It actually wouldn't be too bad. While the Moonslash is heading 3 times, Fate. We got a Fate on entering into the interior. This should be a copy event. Haha! Haha! There we go! So, we hit a Fate upon entering the interior that allowed us to hit 3 times with our basic attacks. Alright. Give me Predator's Blade. Okay, what is our Ray save data looking like? 80. We still have plenty of space. Alright. Yo, Alec Theory, what's up, what's up? Alright. This guy's going to be annoying. He's going to put a bunch of fucking damaging cards into our deck, no? When Veracity is consumed. Yeah, look at that. Actually not worth it to attack him this turn. We're taking less oh, Shizuru goes down. Ooh. Ooh, okay. No need to panic. Everything's under control so far. Yeah, so far, so okay. Thank you. Courtesy of also having the ability to recover from mental breakdowns at 30% more likelihood, thanks to the Do I do want to draw this. Thanks to the Epiphany thanks to the upgrade, right? Thanks to the upgrade. Alright, then let's use this opportunity to draw 3 more cards. Perfect. And now what? Let's initiate him into the circle of death. Shit, we don't have a lot of attack hits. Okay, double basic hit. Triple basic hit. This whatever the fuck thing. This thing. Alright, this should be it. There we go. Nice. How does Stockpile work? Stockpile carries your AP from one turn into the other if you have AP left over. When an upgrade card is used, increased damage amount. That's kind of nasty. That is kind of nasty, but I wonder if it works team-wide. It probably doesn't. Ether Eater. Okay, so we can't get gear. We can get gear, we can get credits, but we won't get cards. I really want this card. I really do. I really want this card from the next shop. Like, the game can't tell me that I can go to 3 shops and not find a neutral card. Right? There's no way. It's not here. It is not here either. Nope. Rally is tasty though. Attack percent is a decent pick. That I might even utilize. Because the concept is... I mean, it is self-replicating. So if I were to draw an attack, I could use attack to draw myself another... draw myself another Predator's Blade. But I could also not take it in and not draw it at all and still get a Predator's Blade. Right? Does this add or does this subtract from our consistency? We could, the only epiphanies we could get would be 1 fortitude, 1 morale, or 1 resolve. So the only thing we stand to gain is 1 morale buff. Does extra attack damage apply to counter attacks? No. No. I mean, I guess we're buying it. Okay. Please, give me the card I'm looking for. It's still not here. Fuck! Okay, we have one final chance. We have one final teeny, tiny chance to get it on the training. And we did not. We did not get it. But we can use Reorganize to like help set up our turn 1. Which is not horrible, and it could Epiphany and give us a couple more stacks. Reorganize is not what I was looking for. But that's okay. That's okay. I'll show you. I'll show you. I'll show you what I'd be looking for after we finish this run. Okay, Bound the Dusk Epiphany. Sure. Now we first have a boss to beat. Because if we don't beat him, that'd be kind of embarrassing. Just saying. Nasty. Okay, so we do get a... See, it is actually kind of good that Reorganize is the one to Epiphany, because Reorganize has stronger Epiphanies than Attack exclamation mark would have. I know I wasted this one. Okay, let's see. Final Epiphany. Final Epiphany. Here we go. 1 morale. Okay, 1 permanent morale. We take it. Okay. One more Epiphany here, not that important. Let's pick one draw. Copy card. What card can we copy on Ray? There we go. Another Predator's Blade. Or should we? We could also copy Strike of Darkness. Hey, Deity, thank you for the raid. Greatly, greatly appreciated. So, yeah, everybody that's new here, you're about to see an insane Shizuru deck. You're about to see an absolutely insane Shizuru deck combined with an insane Naja deck and then hopefully insane Ray deck. No guarantees on Ray, but Shizuru and Naja are pretty good. So, we either boost the damage amount of basic attack cards by 100% for 1 turn and 2 morale. Or we get ourselves the 4 morale, which works for everything. I don't know. Maybe Strike at Darkness, because Strike at Darkness could be 0 cost. Predator's Blade can't. You know what? Now we're going to go with Predator's Blade. It looks better, like visually. Okay, God's Hammer. Unfortunately, we don't have any Ray gear that could get the God's Hammer. What is this? At the start of a Chaos Order battle, 20% damage and 1 damage reduction. Awesome. Awesome. Alright. Aesthetics got him. Yep. I mean, then again, this is our very first Ray run. This is by no means the Ray deck I envisioned, but it's kind of what we came to discover by starting this run. So, before we go into the 3 decks, let me show you the one card I teased you with, right? I show you the card I've teased you with, and yeah, I should understand based on that card. The card I was looking for, the card I was praying for, the card I was hoping to get on this Ray deck would have been a card with some utterly insane epiphanies and humongous value. Glorious Resistance. This would have been utterly disgusting. Because not only would we've been able to get upwards of 3 permanent morale, we also would have been able to get 1 free AP every turn, because healing is not a problem. Our Naja Shizuru Ray deck would have more than enough healing. The available epiphanies to this Glorious Resistance would be kind of crazy, I think, because it's a 3 cost upgrade card. Let me actually check. What kind of insane epiphanies could we have gotten on this? Or can we get insane on this? I feel like the higher the cost, the better the epiphanies. But it might be different because it's an upgrade card. Let's actually fact check this. So, let's fact check this. Epiphanies, 3 cost card, controller. What would we have been able to get? 3 cost upgrade card for controllers. It would have been, no, that's the divine epiphanies, common epiphanies. 1 morale, okay, it would have been 1 morale, 2 morale. Look at this, we could have gotten 2 permanent morale. Yeah, 2 permanent morale. We could have reduced the cost by 1, but that's irrelevant. 3 ego points is irrelevant. At the end of the turn here, irrelevant. Yeah, we would have gotten 2 permanent morale. 2 permanent morale and 1 AP. Alright, how about we take this deck for a ride in the tower? How about we take this deck for a ride in the tower and see how it performs, right? So, first off, I obviously, we will go through the entirety of all the cards we have available, just so you all understand what is and isn't happening. And, yeah, then we just go straight in. So, we are starting off with a Shizuru with the following stat line. Let me actually move the chat over, so you can all clearly see it. Our Shizuru has a stat line of 56 on 202 on 775. With a Orb of Inhibition 4 set, 2 set 25% crit damage, and this is her save data. The save data includes a Cthulhu weapon, Karmic Flames Exhaust, Tsukuyomi upgrade card, Bound at Dusk cost reduction with morale, quadruple copy of Oni Hunt with 1 draw, and Shadow of the Moon. That is our Shizuru. Veilhead Wait with another 43 viewers. What the hell? Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Once again, for all of you coming in, you get access to a whole bunch of Shizuru knowledge. So, this is our Shizuru deck. Now, Naja. We have in the Instinct plus 50% against Ravage, 25% crit damage set. If we are smart about it, we could also try and change her to the change her over to the support set, which we might actually do for Ray, but that's min-maxing. That we're not quite doing that yet. Stat line wise, we are at 59.7, 181, 366 defense. That's the deck. So this Naja deck features the Shackles of Hunger Retain card, meaning we don't have to draw it if we don't play it. 4 copies of Bottomless Hunger with 3 Veracity, 2 cost reduction, and 1 draw at 0 cost. 4 copies of that. Then the Voluntary Control Basic Attack card upgrade. The Domain of Veracity unique card upgrade, meaning we don't have to draw it. And Mealtime in its retain/unique variant. And now for our final deck, the deck we still want to refine, that is Ray. Ray will have a deck that looks... let's actually favorite this one. A deck that looks like this. We have 1 Strike of Darkness with 2 morale, 1 Resonating Darkness, 1 Snack Time, 1 Dark Connotation, 4 Predator's Blades, 1 Spore Harvester, an Attack exclamation mark card, a Reorganize with 1 morale, and that's it. That is our Ray deck. So Resonating Darkness and Snack Time will be exhausted. These two will also exhaust themselves, meaning this deck consists effectively of 7 cards. It also features another Tentacles of Chaos. So, will this work together? Will this cook? Only time shall tell. Okay. So, a bit of a slow start. We get our Tsukuyomi upgrade out. We get the Bound of Dusk upgrade out. We apply Karmic Flames. we start our first Veracity draw / cost reduction train and keep building on it. And so far, very unspectacular turn 1. Right? Very unspectacular. Nothing crazy happened. It's the wrong Ray deck. I could have sworn I swapped the Ray deck. There we go. Alright, here we go again. Here we go again one more time. So, we get Karmic Flames out of the way. We play out Bound at Dusk. We play out the Domain. We play out Voluntary Control. As we've mentioned, not a very impressive turn 1, right? We get the upgrade cards out of the way. We make sure they're gone. Now, we can play Tsukuyomi at 0 cost. And we can start getting our draw and our Veracity stacks ready. Now we can use the power of 1 morale to, again, help us go through our deck a little faster. Get rid of another upgrade card. And then play our first Oni Hunt. And then with the power of Naja, start cost reducing the cards in our hand. So now we can play Predator's Blade for 0. Right here. Play a Oni Hunt for 0. To draw saves a card. Play another Oni Hunt to draw saves another card. Alright, so now we just have a bunch of Striker Darknesses. Because why not, right? More Striker Darknesses, always a good idea. Alright, alright. So far so good. We haven't even started yet. We haven't even started yet. Now we're getting into our next turn. We use Snack Time to get rid of the card. And yeah, just get rid of the card, right? Duh. Nice and simple. We can we use attack exclamation mark? We can. So we use attack exclamation mark to make sure we get this card out of our draw pile. Draw another card with Oni Hunt so that we have the Spore Harvester out of the way. Play out the Spore Harvester. And I think we should be able to keep 2 spores every turn and then just use up 2 of them. So let's see. How do we start this off? We start with the Predator's Blade. Yeah. And then we just go to town here. Luckily, we don't have to worry about taking damage because we have a whole bunch of healing. I mean, look at this. Boom. Basically full health. And yeah, so we can retain all these cards. And now we should get back into our... Ooh, hand is full. Okay, so we retained 1 card. We retained another card. Ah, okay, so I should have played this card, which means we drew 1 less card than we should have. Alright, noted. Noted. Karmic Flames goes out. We can apply 2 stack. You know, the spores are a bit of a wasted effort. Like, they're fun. They're going to add value. I mean, okay, to be fair, the spores will be there to activate our set effect, right? The spores will be there to activate the set effect. Was this just 2600 damage twice from a basic attack? That's kind of nasty. Alright, this hand looks like a world of pain. So, Dark Condensation 50% void attack card damage, 4 morale stacks, 2 attack cards and 1 draw. 1 extra draw, extra Veracity. 1 extra attack card. We're going to get ourselves another Predator's Blade. Activate the Predator's Blade. What else can we come up with that's devious? We can play out another Oni Hunt. But then we don't even draw cards. Okay. Okay, we can't get too greedy. So we probably use up one Spore Contamination. Get ourselves the cards. Get more cards, more cost reduction. Alright, how about... It just looks pretty, alright? So let's make sure we get our hand empty. Alright, nice. Yeah, we should be ready. Yeah. Yeah. Well, so far so good. We can get another Bottomless Hunger. We can draw another card. We can get another cost reduction, draw another card. Draw another card. 50% damage to void cards. Replace attack exclamation mark with the Predator's Blade. Yeah. Let's see. So one Predator's Blade equals cost reduction. Perfect. So we can pay this for 0. Draw another one. Nice and simple. Play out Oni Hunt. Draw something else. Use Mealtime to trigger the cost reduction. On Shadow of the Moon. I mean, oh well. Okay, then this Moon Slash. So that we can play both cards. Alright. And then we hit him with the Moon Slashes. And now we have our secret. Shackles of Hunger. 200% damage boost to the next attack card played. And 3 Predation. Combined with the Shadow of the Moon on 5 stacks. Yeah, solid extra 8k damage, but we could have also used the Shadow of the Moon earlier. So what stopped this turn from being even more impressive? Not having any stacks on the boss, because we could have started stacking a bit more. May as well use the Shadow of the Moon when it goes to 0 cost. Yeah, exactly. It would indeed not go bigger than 5 stacks. Alright, so apply the stacks. Do a Predator's Blade right here. Get Oni Hunt for the draw. Draw some more. Draw some more. How about some more draw? Then another Predator's Blade. Alright, so one Shadow of the Moon gives us Shadow of the Moon Plus. We can then use Shadow of the Moon Plus, get a Shadow of the Moon back from the E2, use another, get another, use another, get another. Oh shit. Alright. Attack exclamation mark so that we can draw ourselves a... Oh, how many Shadow of the Moons do we have in our deck? One is here, one's in our hand, one is in our draw pile. The more Shadow of the Moons we use, the more they'll also insta-stack in the draw pile. So let's get the... what are we currently selecting? Yeah, Predator's Blade, we can never really go wrong with that. So 0 cost here, 0 cost here, 1 cost here. Draw some more cards. Draw some more cards. Draw some more cards. How about we draw some more cards? Could anybody guess that? No? Crazy. So, Shadow of the Moon now instant upgraded on its own due to us drawing into another Shadow of the Moon that was in our draw pile. How did these make it into our deck? Ah, it's because we didn't play them the turn we drew them, huh? It's kind of crazy. Alright, might as well get the Fierce Winds bonus for another 50%. And, Yeah, so first Moon Slash, we should be able to play Shadow of the Moon. So we can use it right here because it's Shadow of the Moon Plus. For a casual 10,000 damage. Play another Moon Slash. Play one more. But now we just didn't get enough cost reduction for this next Shadow of the Moon. But we would be able to get like another Shadow of the Moon Plus right here, as you can see. And then we just hit him with the meal time. Okay. So, get the bonus. The draw. It's a bit annoying that Shadow of the Moon like starts accumulating into our draw pile. But I mean, hey, at least this looks funny. So, do we have any cost reduction? We don't. Okay, might as well just send it then. Oh no, he's is he invulnerable now? No, he's not. But we also didn't get as many boosts. Okay. Oh yeah, she keeps slashing. Now he's invulnerable. No, he's still not. Oh. Oh well. Ah, we could have broken him to get more. Interesting. Alright, so more draw, more cost reduction. More draw. Yeah, I think we definitely have to work on this Ray deck. We might just want to hunt for like, let's say, one draw neutral epiphanies or something like that. I don't know, but we're definitely not changing the Naja deck. We're definitely not changing the Shizuru deck. How can we make this even more consistent, you could say, right? And I know the guy is currently invulnerable, so there's not really a point to this. What team do I recommend to finish the tower? 9 with an Ironclad Hue, Khalib with a shield Vulture Launcher, and then any person that can draw. Like 9 with the Ironclad Hue and shield and Khalib with the shield Vulture Launcher, and you're basically done. Yeah, we could have used even more Shadow of the Moons, correct? So now we have Shadow of the Moon Plus at 0 cost. Let's use it first. Then Moon Slash. Moon Slash. Which is enough to get to another Shadow of the Moon Plus. But we don't have the AP to play it. Because we're not really drawing enough cards. Also, how did we run out of stacks? It's because of Ray, huh? Ray might be consuming too many stacks with her attack cards. So we might still be better off having this be a skill card that does it. No 9 team for tower? Oh, no 9? Naja, Khalib is pretty damn good still. Like anything defense based has an edge over everything non-defense based. What memory fragments do we run on Naja? Currently the instinct set. But it's not that useful, right? It's not that useful. Okay. It's an interesting Ray deck, but we definitely need to brainstorm some ways to refine this. Right? Like there has to be... also look at this. No, not this one. Is it in here? No. Use cards, graveyard, draw pile. No, where did all our Shadow of the Moons go? I guess it's because it's now at 5 stacks. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I like the performance, but we definitely have to figure something out for the Ray deck here. So just Iron Claw 9 and Khalib is pretty much enough, yeah. Oh yeah, Barrel Retain Spores is even more disgusting. Okay, so the way you build Barrel Retain Spores is super easy. You get 2 character decks that you can make empty, or 2 cards that you can make, 2 characters that you get 0 cards or just very few cards, and then the only thing you need is 4 opening founds, right? When retain owned card, extra damage, you need 4 opening founds and a source of spores. Like for example, like for example this one, right? Source of spores, retain cards, and then every single turn you're going to shoot 40 attacks at the end of your turn. Should you E2 Naja? You don't need to. She does not need her E2 to be good. Like, when Veracity increases 25% chance to gain it, there is some funky meme builds you can make. Like, only get E2 Naja as a consideration if you intend to build a basic attack build. And that is because the basic attack build will never let you run out of Veracity, because every time you use it, you get it back. And then with using it, you could get an additional stack, making voluntary control able to continuously generate Veracity where there shouldn't be any. Right? Like the interaction between the E2 and a basic card Naja, basic attack card Naja is quite nasty. Alright, so what's the plan for Ray? What can we do to make this more useful? Right? Like what did we miss out on the most? What have we learned from our tower run? So what I've learned is, as fun as it is to have so many Predator's Blades, it really doesn't turn into anything due to us not quite having enough draw to keep this up. Can I show a Khalib deck? Ooh, I haven't built a Khalib this season. I haven't even really bothered with Khalib because I don't need to do so, but I can show you the cards, alright? I make it super simple. If you run a Khalib with 9, it's super straightforward. Get yourself the most tanky Vulture Ejection, which is this one. You can get yourself that one up to 4 copies. For the Greatsword Akia, get yourself the one that gives you Silver Veil, because Silver Veil is what's going to allow your Khalib to deal damage, right? Because you combine massive shields with her biggest damage, which is when Silver Veil gets to 3, right? So that is what you want to get. You want the Silver Veil Greatsword Akia. If you want to, you can get yourself even more shield with, for example, damage reduction per ravaged, or just the massive shield here. But Overpower is a good candidate to cut. You can cut out Overpower out of a Khalib deck. If you want even more value, you can go for the 2 Rally Celestial, which means this Rally would play on its own and provide you with the Silver Veil. Otherwise, you could go for any. Like, any of these are just as good. None of these, besides this one. This one doesn't give Silver Veil, so probably don't pick that one. Like, highest cost card would work. Highest Raw 1 Celestial would work. Draw 1, gain shield equal to that card's cost. Don't pick that one. Right? So probably pick between this one and this one. These should all work. Celestial to be safest. Or to be safe. And then you can cut Absolute Protection. Because you don't need the shield. Right? So a deck would consist of 4 Vulture Ejections, a Silver Veil Greatsword, and a Rally that draws you, I don't know, Celestial. Or this one in the middle here as well. You could also go for this version. This one. You could also go for this one because you get some damage and you get an extra shield. Right? So if you want still the same benefits from the crazy tankiness, while also gaining a bit more damage on top of just Silver Veil than here, the 40% Epiphany. Is 9 plus Serenial plus Naja a bad team? No, it's definitely a really, really strong team for Chaos. The only real question is what kind of cards do you want to put together how? And who will be your main carry, who will be your main focus. So, to put this all together, you need your Naja to provide draw. You need your Serenial to either provide a bunch of exhaust cards or AP with homing lasers. And then the pick for your 9 is going to be you either use the Ironclad version for just the best utility for shield and damage. You use the Flash version if you exhaust a bunch of Serenial lasers to be able to play this very cheaply. Or you use the Extreme version if you're running something like an AP Serenial so that you can actually afford to play this card. Yeah, pretty much. How to play Emir? There's a lot of people that play Emir in a lot of ways, but the most obvious synergy is what you're going to find in here. You're going to get yourself the, for one turn, add 1 hit and 50% damage amount to metallization. You want this at 2 or 3 copies, maybe even 4. Incredible damage bonus to metallization, a lot of hits. So that is what you get for Full Metal Hurricane. Here you kind of just try to get as much metallization as you can squeeze out of it. Through these cards, it's not that important. The main one is how do you trigger that metallization, and that is where Naja comes in. And you pick yourself this one. The ability to trigger the shield up to 4 times, which means you play 1 card, it triggers 4 shields. All those shields trigger metallization. Metallization will trigger 4 hits, turning 4 hits into 4 times 4, making it a 16 hitter per Shackles of Hunger with shield played. Is Emir good with 9? Yes. You can use 9's Ironclad Hue to you can use 9's Ironclad Hue to also trigger Emir's metallization. That also works. And also, look at this. You have a bunch of, or not a bunch, but you have some Celestial cards. Not here. Let's see. You have this card, Celestial, with Celestial. You have, let's see. There should be another one. You have this card with Celestial, and you can use these cards, utilize their effect, while using 9 to trigger them for free. Yeah, I need to try Flash 9 with Serenial. It is kinda nuts. Someone cleared the difficulty event boss with Tressa Hugo, so I'd say still good. Oh, absolutely. Would a Spoiler with only 1 growing creature work? Yes. It's just not going to be as like, you're going to lose out on base damage for your card that you're buffing, but in exchange you're getting even more slimes, even more spores. It's okay. It would work. Alright, it's time we get back into the chaos and we need to build another ray. We need to build another ray. Let's actually focus on what I want to achieve in this stream. Otherwise, yeah, right? So we had this deck and what we learned was too many cards, but kinda nuts in terms of damage bonus. So I'm still a decent favorite of the 2 morale 100% version. Then again, it wouldn't be too horrible if we get the 150 version, or even, let's say, we get the Strike at Darkness with 1 draw. That would be fine. We could also cut it, but that'd be kind of stupid. So, how about we don't do that? Yeah. So, we want at minimum a Strike at Darkness, and we could also, if we really want to make the deck even smaller, we could set it for a permanent 80%. Rather than a, like, it depends on our consistency, right? If we're not going to be able to get Strike of Darkness every single turn reliably, then we are better off just getting the 80% permanently, because it also makes it easier to draw into all her Ray cards. So things that are on the table is same Epiphany, 150 Epiphany, Upgrade Epiphany. Yeah, those are all on the table. Maybe we can find a divine that gives us 1 morale. That might sway my opinion a bit. So that is Strike at Darkness. Resonating Darkness, still the same thing. We want the Void version, or we want the 1 cost or less version, because it applies to all our cards. If we can, we want 1 or less, but 40% Void would be fine as well, so it's not that tight. Snack Time, I would like to get a neutral Epiphany that gives us 1 morale, just because it's extra damage bonus, but if not, we pick any Snack Time, preferably this one, so that we can just get rid of it and we don't have to think about it. Dark Condensation, we definitely want the 50% Void version. If we can't get that, or if we decide we don't need it, then we're going to cut out the card entirely. So that would mean we would either cut or turn Strike at Darkness unique. We would cut Dark Condensation, hypothetically. And Predator's Blade is actually kinda sexy. So I don't know. Like, if we can get a divine on Dark Condensation, then all of a sudden it's a different conversation, right? If Dark Condensation divines, it's a different conversation. If it doesn't, we're not going to bother with it. Neutral card that we're going to be looking for. Can't you have a normal Strike at Darkness and the upgrade version? You, sir, might be a little bit of a genius. The only question I have here is, are these 2 different buffs? Right? Like, is this buff different from the 1-turn version? It should be, right? But you never know with these devs. But that's a good idea. How about we do that? I love Distortion Adaptation. So, let me glaze Distortion Adaptation real quick. Let me show you something. I don't know if you know this, but if you go into a Chaos and you have the Distortion Adaptation active, let me pick a random 5-star in the game. Let's pick Kayron. Now, how many of you have been wondering, how good is the Kayron partner really? Do I need the partner? Am I happy with what I have? Distortion Adaptation has you covered. Click, change, booyah, and you can play your Chaos run with the character's dedicated 5-star partner at absolutely nothing. No cost to you. How good is that? Huh? How good is that? How awesome is that? You can pick any 5-star in the game, test them out with their dedicated partner, so you know if you like it or not. Also, what it does is, if a character doesn't have gear, they give you gear for the character. And if your character does have gear, or if your character is level 60, they max out your character's potential for free. So you can play your character in the Chaos with fully maxed out potential. Let me show you an example. Luke. My Luke has, right? The only thing they're doing to my level 60 Luke is turning his crit chance from, crit damage from 192, from 189 to 192, right? Like, or a bit even higher, right? Like, we go from 187, we keep the same memory fragments, and the only thing they do is level up my crit damage potential to the maximum. And it doesn't cost me anything. Nothing changes. It's the same Luke, it's the same gear, it's the same everything, just with more crit damage. You didn't even know to take the like? No problem, appreciate it. So yeah, you can take in any character, they upgrade the potentials to the max level for free, and they allow you to test out a character's 5-star dedicated partner. The reason why these stats are different here is because, if I'm not wrong, my Yuki currently has no gear. Okay, she does have, look, they're even providing for us another desire. Because we currently don't have a desire equipped. Which means they just add in another desire because we currently don't have one equipped. Giving us a better stat line. Because they're like, okay, your character doesn't have gear equipped, how about we change that? Is Meilin good? Meilin is amazing. You have the build we're looking for. Okay. That's high praise. That is high praise for your build. There's a problem. And that is, this doesn't stack. You cannot stack the buy 50 from one Striker Darkness with another. You can't stack those. This does not stack. What else do we have? This is a bit unfortunate because it's a temporary effect. What would have been better is something like maybe Morale 1. The buff would be for 2 turns instead of for 1 turn with the same effect. Do I agree with Pridewind's new tier list? I never checked them. Let's have a look. No, that's bullshit. 9 is tier 0. Move her up. 9 is tier 0 in Chaos. Move her up. Seasonal save data. Yeah, move her up. Like, I mean, you know, seasonal save data, I can agree. Tier 0.5, we have to see what kind of game modes they add. Yada, yada, yep. Orlea could, Naja could definitely go higher. Orlea needs to go higher. This is just rude. Like, tell me you haven't even tried without telling me you haven't tried. Giving Luke both tier 2 there. Luke is there. That's just rude. Amir being still in tier 2 is crazy business. Let's see, did they move her up? I mean, tier 1.5, that's an insult. Maribel could also be higher. Owen can now be higher. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. Should I dupe Ice Fragments or Frost Charge or Magna on a team with 9? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. On a Magna. On a Magna with 9, would you copy Ice Fragments, which would allow you to gain more counter attacks depending on what copy you're picking? Or would we copy... They can't all be high though? Why not? Why can't they all be high? Alright, let's see. Where is... or Frost Charge. Frost Charge. You should pick the upgrade. Frost Charge upgrade that applies vulnerable. And I think 2 vulnerable could be enough. I don't think there's a point to copying Frost Charge. You could hypothetically copy Storm of Bitter Cold. So that you get 2 counter attack every time shield is gained through an ability. Because that's something you can scale. Whereas Ice Fragment is something that's permanent. If they're all high, I mean... Like, no, it's not like they don't all need to be high. But then again, there's no point. Right? Like, as much as tier lists make sense for this game, so much they don't. Right? Like, I mean, even this. Right, what even is this? 6 characters in tier 1.5 for Chaos mode? Like, if I look at this, why would I bring Kairon, Luke, Renoa, Yuki, any of these into Chaos? Like, they can still work. And not just work, they can annihilate. Kairon is disgusting. I don't know if all that matters is the relative position, right? That's the reason why I don't really make tier list videos, because there isn't really that much of a point to them, unfortunately. Hot storm and bitter cold dupes don't work though. I don't know, I didn't hear anything about that, but you could be correct. The 18 plus cards, I bet to start a typo or real. It's actually a typo, but not like you think. It is 18 or less. If your deck has 18 or less cards, get the effect. Oh, you know what? It might actually be a bit better, even a bit better. But it's actually 18 or less or 33 or less. But let me show you something. Do y'all think they count the cards before or after you've drawn? Do y'all think they count this before or after you've drawn your cards? So is it actually +5 because you draw 5 at the start of the battle? Like, when do they count the cards to apply the damage bonus? Is it before or after? Because then it would be 38 or 18. It does say owning, yeah. But yeah, the 33 version is better than the 18 version. That's all you need to take away from this. Right? All you need to take away from this is the 33 version is actually better because it's reverse translated. It actually should say 18 or less or 33 or less. Ask the devs, right? I have nothing to do with this. This did not... yeah, this is not my idea. There you go. Is it possible to have 4 copies with Brilliant Frames equipment? No. Shit. I skipped the 15. Hey, Isaac95, appreciate the follow. Thank you very much. So, we're currently looking for a tier 15, negative 60 credits. Can't... it's possible. We just did a run like this. We have to see if we can get a credit fate. If we can get a credit fate, then we might be able to cook with this run. Did you drop as Silver and Blood? Yes, I did. Alright, what's our fate? Okay, no credit fate. I kind of don't want to quit, but I kind of want to quit. I think we're quitting. And we're looking for another map. Wait, how does 33 or less make sense? It encourages you to play less than 11 cards combined on each of your 3 characters. Right? Like, if I had a deck with 11 Chizuru, 11 Naja, and 11 Ray cards, I would meet the condition. But if my Ray has 12, my Shizuru 11, my Naja 11, I wouldn't get the bonus. Negative 70 credits with Tyrant? That's disturbing. Shit. Come on. One discard, negative 50 max HP, 8 elite areas and Tyrant? No. I'm not really looking to get punished. Oh, that's nice. 6 elites, max HP by 50, Gain 2 fortitude every 3 turns, cannot rest. That's reasonable. That's something we can do. Maybe. Kinda wants me to bring in 9 though. Kinda has me want to bring in 9. Or maybe Serenia as insurance. Oh well. Let's go. Rolling tier 15s is definitely a lot more easy than getting tier 14s last season. What's the rarity? What's the rarity of the card we were looking for? The Glorious Resistance is a common card, right? Shop. Agent collection, card collection. I appreciate the follow hit 2020. Thank you very much. Where's the card? Glorious Resistance is a common card. Huh. Alright. Why Ray? So that we can build her for our Shizuru Naja team. I feel like in Season 1 Tyrant was nowhere near as bad. It's still deadly. It is still deadly, but they buffed enemy HP from level 61 onwards, meaning that Tyrant now scaled the enemy HP a bit more due to them having a higher base HP pool. Distortion adaptation is a great feature, but why isn't it off by default? Because it's useful. Like, there isn't really a scenario where distortion adaptation not being on helps you in any way, shape, or form. Like, there is no scenario in which having it turned off is beneficial. It gives you free partner choice, free max potential, and free gear on a character if your gear is missing if your character is missing pieces. Right? Like, why wouldn't I? Some of these conditions with tier 15 is nuts. What should you go for? Avoid Tyrant, avoid negative credits. Yeah, those are the biggest ones. You use your own builds. It doesn't replace all your gear. No. I have the same stats on my Shizuru, just with extra potential maxing. Right? Like, the only time they check... So, distortion adaptation only gives your characters gear if A, they do not have gear, B, they're lower than level 60. If your character's level is lower than the distortion adaptation level, then they will replace gear. But the only time they do that is then, for example, for supports. And even on supports, the gear they give you tends to have more defense and more HP than the gear your support usually has. My DPS, Shizuru and Naja are untouched. They have the same gear, just with maxed out potential. Wow. Naja Stacy, she is. Yeah, season 2 feels amazing. A lot more impactful, a lot more game changing than the launch of season 1. Let's not forget, the devs did also change a whole bunch throughout the launch of season 1. They learned a lot, and pretty much any feedback, any improvements that they made through season 1 have been carried over into season 2 and then some, right? And then basically they continued adding more useful stuff. I'm trying to cook something. I send you pictures on Discord server. When you have a minute, can you tell me what I think? Okay. So you said you cooked. Okay. Did you cook or did you burn? Please ping. Alright. There's too many chats on the Discord. I don't have the time nor the idea to look into every single chat. Don't send it to me as a DM. Pick something like 9 Naja strats if it applies. Pick general, pick flex, pick help. Pick whatever chat you want and just mention @WG so I, you know, I get that like red notification. Otherwise, very hard to find. Because I really don't want to spend minutes and minutes of looking through the Discord trying to find the related message. If it could all be solved a lot easier, a lot quicker that way. I have 9 now. Is it bad to gamble for more units? No. Like, if you're looking for more units, then sure, you can continue going for more. But you also don't have to go for more, right? It's entirely up to you. Do you want more units? Do you need more characters? Are you looking for specific characters? Or do you want to keep yourself resources for the next few characters that will be released later down the line? Season 2 will not have a single limited character, already confirmed by the devs. We do not know what the next limited character will, the next character will be, but we will know at minimum a week earlier. At minimum on Wednesday in a week, we will know the typing and the element of the next character. My prediction is Ranger / Psionic for the Justice faction. That is my prediction. Prediction. Lost my 50-50 for 9, so saving for that Egyptian cat girl. Reasonable. Understandable. Quick question, do you remember if you can get Ebony Lumen before first boss? No. Ebony Lumen should only drop from the interior. Yeah. Should be a neutral card that is bound to the planet and cannot be gotten from training or from the shop. So you also can't get it with any fates. Cooking a flash deck? Alright. Lost my 50-50 to Naja and my next single pull was 9. See, this is a very beautiful way of losing your 50-50. Shizuru partner more valuable than Briar. I have both Shizuru and Kairon. No. If you want the most value, then it's definitely Briar over Itsuku in terms of what they do for their respective characters. What do you think of Shizuru with the Spore gear? I don't know. I have Shizuru on the Spore gear, but the only way this would work... You know what? It depends. Right? Like, it entirely depends on especially how it gets counted and when it moves and when it works where. But... Oh, neutral common card. Hey! Come on! Give me the card. Shit. What I want to say... I don't know, I think you can make use of it. And it depends. You either play the basic attack build, where then the basic attack creation would count towards the spores, or you would just obviously try and count towards 6 creations of Shadow of the Moon, which would be every second Shadow of the Moon plus. No, it double. It depends on how many stacks you have on the enemy. It basically means if the enemy has 20 shroom stacks and you use your 6th created attack card that has the boost, that attack card is going to get 40 instead of 20 shroom stacks effect. Do you have any guides about events with those gold bait, sword and harp? No. Not yet. I'll make like a planet-based farming guide at some point. Okay, activate all basic cards in hand, 1 AP. That is a weird-ass card. There's no point to us having this card. But it's a funny card. So we're going to go with the same neutral epiphany we got last time. And this time I think we just get it duplicated from the first boss. And then just change its epiphany. Is it possible to change what cards you enter the chaos with? This is always the same. The only thing you can do is get a character's potential. So the character's first potential, and then you're going to get one of the 2 characters' blue cards, right? You can always only start with the character's 5th or character's 6th card as your additional card to start a chaos run with. So, right, you can only ever get the character's 5th or 6th card to start a chaos run with. Does Mika still get the most divine epiphanies? Every character gets the most divine epiphanies. You just keep them in your mind more because every time they land on Whirlpool, you just want to crash out. But this has nothing to do with divine rate gainage per character. Is the Arcanian supply psionic partner good for Shizuru? It's an okay partner. I would still say you are quite well off with the Eloise though. Nah, Mika got more divine rate source, trust me bro. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much just that. Whirlpool is 90%. I'd say 95% actually. Especially on divine events. For Spoiler, how much faint memory do you need to get it exactly like I had it in my video? 180. But you do not have to build your Spoiler. Because the reason why it's... No, 160. What am I eating right now? It's fake Oreos. No. That's what I'm having right now. How do you deal with necrosis in Nebula Distortion? You make sure you don't heal more than what? 3 times a turn? I meant to make an argument why you shouldn't build Sporlea. No, why wouldn't you build Sporlea? That's the real question. Clorox? It's called Rio. I mean, if you're so curious, here you go. Rio black and white with like, I don't know, the American flag. Hell yeah, brother! Spoiler, so OP 9 does 20k damage with a 1 to 2 turn setup. Yep. Every single turn. Unfortunate. Have I tried Haru or Leia? Not yet, but it's not gonna be any different from 9 or Leia. Yeah, basically. There isn't really gonna be anything that's gonna surprise me. She deals 20k damage to solo without Orlea. That's awesome. So if this is a repeated question, what are the debuff modifiers you avoid doing? I tend to, like, you can do Tyrant, but do not play Tyrant if you have negative max HP. Like, if I can, I avoid Tyrant. But I always avoid Tyrant with 50% HP cut. It's just not worth it. Too many things that could kill you and ruin your precious run. I do not do credit negative. Yeah, I never do credit negative modifiers if I can avoid it. Unless I get like a credit fate. So I can like give it one shot, see if it's a credit fate, yes or no. Otherwise, jump out. Is there anything else I can think of? Discard 1 can be annoying if you don't bring Serenial E2 or a 9. Especially if you bring a 9, discard 1 can be annoying. Now, you can mitigate the effect of draw discard 1 by bringing E2 Serenial, because it can discard one of her homing lasers. Is there any circumstances you skip equipment perks? Yes, if you're doing a quadruple divine deck. If you want 4 copies of the same divine card, you're not allowed to pick any arena modifiers. This, when a 3 cost or higher card is activated, is unfortunately only based on the character, right? The start of the battle, draw an exhaust card of this unit. I mean, what kind of card could I think of that could help here? That would mean me putting an exhaust card on Ray. Yeah, not worth it. This card 1 messed my 9 up too often. I'd like even lost run with you, removed in the final boss fight. Yeah, that's why you would need like a... That's why if I'm playing this card 1, I'm bringing 9 and Serenial at E2. Otherwise, I'm just not playing the discard 1 usually. We could have drawn a snack time. Yeah. But is it worth 10 points? Probably not. The exhaust lumen is good on the support with the ignition hue. Temporary. Is great for a turn, but what then? Right? Like, sure, you can use it one time to exhaust one of 9's hues, but then what? What are you gonna do the turn after, you know? Do spores appear in lab 0? No, no chance. Wait. Yes, they do. I think they might just, because you unlock them with exploration level 5. So you could hypothetically find the spores in lab 0. The problem with that is, why would you do that? I don't think you can get season save data from playing lab 0. I like to play Olea with forbidden cards rather than arenas. What's this? I haven't tried Olea since forever. Thanks to your Olea, I started trying out and realized how amazing she is. It really feels quite awesome, doesn't it? Alright. Choose Divine. Huh? Huh? There we go, choose Divine, awesome. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get a lot of value out of it, because we only have snack time. So, what's the best I could get here? Yeah, fuck, I don't know. Oh well. Might help us set up turn 1 and get our like basic attack cards and whatnot out of our yeah, no, it's not OP. It's great the first time you play it, but what then? Right, that's kind of the mindset I've come to, like, especially because we're building Ray for a very specific scenario. Right? We're building Ray with a very specific scenario in mind. So, right? So I would have rather taken something like 1 stack of morale. Right? Yeah, like, sure, you could just try to, like, 1-turn KO and whatnot, but that's not quite what we're aiming for. I mean, we might just be able to 1-turn KO even with, even without that. I'd rather just get a bit more value. So, can we find the neutral card? Maybe this time we can. It's not here. Nope. 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 Let's start removing some cards. And let's re-epiphany. Let's re-epiphany Dark Condensation. Alright, that's pretty okay. Still not quite sure if I want to cut the card, if I want to keep the card. We have to see. Have I checked the Buff Haru cards? Yeah, I know about Buff Haru. Have I seen partner Aishin in the camp? No, I haven't. I've yet to get her from the battle pass. I think I get her next rotation. This rotation I get Sarathea. You know what? I wouldn't really use Sarathea. I could get her. If she's as caked out, as cheeked out as you're saying, we might just have to prioritize her for no particular reason. Right? If what you're saying is truly true, we might just have to get her first and Sarathea after. Wise decision. Okay, okay. You got me a little hooked. Not gonna lie. So we went instantly from 0 stacks to 5 bind stacks. Okay. I mean, sure. Right? Like, why wouldn't we? Does Obsidian Sword increase all damage by 12%? Yes. It increases damage regardless of damage typing. Sorry that it took so long for me to answer. I hope you're still here. If not, I hope you're not too sad that it took me so long to answer your question. Yeah, I hope you're not too hard about it. It was with my best intentions. You're so sad? Oh. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can do for you. I'm sorry. What's the best Epiphany anchor for Haru? I'd probably pick the one with the highest base damage and the 10 stacking. But I like the crit, like any of the ones that stack up to 10 times, and then it's either the crit, yeah, probably the crit one, the combo one, the one with the 2 hitters. I don't think it stacks, so that's not that great. Is there a modified gear event in interior or only exterior? There is a modified gear event in interior. You should also be able to find, you know, when there's like these shadows that look like your characters, these events have modified gear. What's the best card for Yuki to copy? You want 1 or 2 copies of her draw card, and then you want a copy of, and then you want copies of either Sword Flash, the you know, the 2-cost base card value card, or Iceberg Cleave. What's my thoughts on Renoa after they mentioned the cube nerf? Stronger than ever. Can now be type effective. Got 40% buff to every single one of her bullets. They added in a card that allows Renoa to turn 1 kill annihilate anything in the game, due to the ability for her to get 60% additional crit chance on turn 1. I think she's in a very good spot. We're not farming for Shizuru. We already finished farming for Shizuru. Our Shizuru deck is a basic attack Shizuru. What we're now farming for is we're building a Ray. Has anybody noticed how weird this is? Why is Ray in the front? Like, I get we're bringing in 2 controllers and a psionic. But what's Ray doing in the front line? How's it been going? We only did 1 run, but we learned a lot. I learned what I wanted to learn in that 1 run. And now for run 2, I don't know, so far it's going okay. Could be better, could be worse. What card can give her the crit chance? It's the Forbidden Grave card that came with the new season. The Hunter and Ranger exclusive one. What teams do I recommend with Shizuru? This one right here. Ray, Shizuru, Naja. Pretty goated. Or if you want to play stacking Shizuru, you can try your hand at running her with Orlea. Okay, decision time. Do we cut Dark Condensation? Maybe we do. We'll probably learn by the end of the run if we have too many or not enough cards in our deck. Yeah. I think we'll learn after we finish this run if we could have afforded to have more cards. No, it's not by the character that you select before a run. It's also based on the character's class. Vanguards and Strikers are usually in the front regardless of where you place them, where Controllers and Psionics tend to be in the back. Positioning is useless but makes you feel good. Agreed. What a eventful turn. So much happened. Hey! She just hit us. She allowed to do that? Oh no. Hey, nice. Naja can hit you all she wants. Ay. No comment. No comment. I neither agree nor disagree. I stay neutral. Is Sporlea always best, or is it worth building a more vulnerability focused version? At the moment it's probably quite hard to beat Sporlea in any kind of Orlea build. Yeah. But you can combine Sporlea with a vulnerability focused approach. Like for example, if you retain a softie to vulnerability, especially with a cost reduction divine. So technically you just need 40% crit chance with Forgotten Grave to actually always crit? Yes. Which means you can hit 40% crit chance while using a crit damage necklace in a hypothetical. Guilty. Guilty as charged, yeah. Is it good to farm Rin deck on this season's Chaos? You can absolutely do so. Best god in Izelas. Eslas? No, best Godines Las? I don't know, but shout out to you. Appreciate the follow. Nice try. Oh, fuck. Would you care to enlighten me? Like, can you put it into... I don't know how to say this, but can you put it into words? What is Sporlea? Sporlea is Orlea that is running a Spore Harvester or Spore Creation card. We're not getting very lucky, are we? I just want this damn neutral card. How hard can it be? Jajan! What memory fragment is recommended for Shizuru? The Void set. The Void set that you can farm together with the Instinct set. So the new Void set. The one that gives plus 30% to 2-hit cards. Random rare neutral card. We don't need a rare neutral card. I mean, give me max HP. Why not? Spores are amazing. Yes, it matters if you do 2 to 3 versus 2 to 3. And that is because you retain the same amount of growing creatures, but you get 1 additional retain for spores, allowing you to get upwards of 3 or even higher more spores per turn, while still getting the same softie bonus. No spores, no life. I mean, you don't have to play, like, Spores are really impactful on single hit or single card characters that have multi-hits, but on characters that use a lot of cards like Luke or Shizuru basic attack version, they're not nearly as impactful. Huh? Who was my favorite art? My favorite breakdown art? Okay, how about I don't tell you what my favorite is? How about I tell you the ones that I hate the most? Okay? Deal? I'm going to give you the ones I hate the most. I don't like Veronica's, and I don't like Nia's. I find those to be unsettling. Yeah. I don't like Nia's and I don't like Veronica's. They don't... Nah. Especially, there's like two different ones, and one of them, the more extreme ones for both. Nah. Spores work with multi-hit cards. It needs to be the same card though. Anybody is building Yuki? Yeah, there's a lot of people building Yuki. It's just overshadowed by the amount of people playing 9 and the fact that 9 also has access to the Massacre card. But you would absolutely not go wrong building Yuki in the big Season 2s. Feels like 9 isn't even a top tier character if she was in the first season, but she's carried hard by Spores this season? Hell no! Nah. 9 is not getting carried by Spores. That's just... I'd say that's just misconception based on a lot of clips going around where she just does a crazy amount of damage. But do not underestimate 9 and just be like, oh yeah, it's just Orlea hard carrying. So Spores can't interact well with Renor's Dirge Bullets? Pretty much. Any advice for running Rin in the seasonal? Bring Ray. Ray always goes. You could also bring in, like you could do Rin together with 9. You could bring Rin together with Ray. But if you want like one of my favorite teams is just straightforward Naja Ray Rin. Naja Ray Rin always goes quite hard. I hope we get more Pata injections in the future, like a small chance when Serenity kills someone pick her as a voice line. I mean, technically we have that to a degree, right? We have some interactions where when you go into like an elite fight, there will be a voice line played about how like the enemy is like dangerous and whatnot. Sometimes when you like kill something, it's like this like one blah 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 Kogeki, Kangeki, whatever the hell line that Peko spews. So there is some voice lines getting triggered from certain interactions. I once saw a post showing a basic card with an epiphany. There was a glitch. But it only was available for like 2 hours. Like 2 hours day 1 of the season launch. But that's about it. Can we build Yuki to be a single target DPS? You can. It does require you to pick your epiphanies carefully, get familiar with the way they've changed her for this season, and accept that even if you build it exceptionally well, if you put the same level of investment and the same level of grind on 2 different characters, Yuki might just perform worse. but she can still absolutely do whatever you want her to do single target. That's just kind of what you need to know going in. Her strength definitely is in the AoE department. Alright, time to re-epiphany Strike of Darkness. Didn't get the upgrade version. Yikes. Luckily we have another shop. Hopefully before the shop we get the copy event. But is Yuki's AoE bigger than 9's AoE? Yes. Definitely. Even a well-built Yuki, even a well-built 9 in the AoE department is going to lose out against the Yuki with equal investment. Right? Like if it's the same level of investment, not like 10 divines on one divine on the other, right? Like same level of investment, same circumstances, then Yuki's gonna win. I sent a pic of my mail in basic having an epiphany. It happened after recovering from trauma. I had to restart the game after I tried to play it because it froze your game. That's kind of nuts. The major may limit basic card epiphanies. That'd be kinda nuts. What do you think about the 3-card 9 with Massacre and Counterblade with Play Hue at start epiphany? Well, pretty good. Pretty small deck, great impact. Yeah, I don't know if there's much more to say about it. I think it's pretty good. I got a draw one with 1 AP. Wait, I got a divine one with one draw, 1 AP and 1 resolve. What the fuck is that? The fuck is that? It's my birthday today. Sadly, CZN doesn't have any greetings for the player. Yep. Yep. That is unfortunate. Right? It obviously would have been nice if there was like a little main. You get like what, 150 gems, maybe like a cake. Like maybe you get like 10 cakes and 150 gems, right? But you know, maybe they'll do it retroactively at some point. Who knows, right? Read the first message on Twitch. Is Tripp's neck time enough? Oh. Is Tripp's neck time enough? I got a divine one with 1 draw, 1 AP, and 1 resolve. It depends. It depends on what you intend to do with that. With that ray. Like, if you can get 4, why not get 4? But if you can't get 4, then 3 has to be enough, yes. With the rework on the Void set, yes. No. I'd still use, definitely, I'd use the new Void set on both Rin and Chizuru. Unless you decide to only ever play her cards at 1 AP, then Conqueror would be better. But you cannot allow any cost reductions, because otherwise the set becomes useless. Do raise 1 cost buffs apply to cards when discounted? No. That's why you would need to get the 1 or less version. How? Like, this is the first time ever I've been actively searching for this one neutral card and it just does not want to appear. Why? Also, we are running out of copy events. How to counter necrosis? Use 2 or less heals every turn. cut down on the amount of times you heal yourself a turn. I think you might be able to get away with 3, but no guarantees. Have you seen raid deck that contains 2 or could be more different unique epiphany? I don't know what's that called. The 1-cost card that's not a bug, right? You cannot get more of this. You cannot get more copies of a card that's unique. Right? Like you can't get the Resonating Darkness, but you can do something like getting 2 Strikes of Darkness. I finally got Orlea, and my god, the big damage is so much fun. It is neuron activation times 100. One epiphany for the upgrade turns it into a skill instead, so they pick that, copied it, and then turn. Ooh. You are correct. I did not think of that. There is indeed 5 versions of the card, and the 5th one is non-unique. That is a way to get around this. How many more scenarios? How many more scenarios like this exist? Is Ray the exception, or is that possible on other characters as well? Why do we still need to deck hunt if it's easier? Because while you can get a good deck very easy, getting a great deck still takes 2 to 3 runs. The question is if they stack. Good question. Would they stack? I don't know. Okay, what do we copy here? Probably Predator's Blade. Should you always cut Sensor for Spolea? Yes. It's going to mess up your rotations for no reason. Please, please game, I'm begging you, give me the Nutri card, please. No, where is it? Oh, come on, that one time? Really? That one time I'm looking for the Nutri card? Like today, and it's just not possible? Man. I'm looking for the common Nutri card Glorious Resistance. Why do I feel like clearing the new chaos is so hard? They did scale the HP amount of the enemies for enemies level 81 and higher. And you might just be picking a bad team. You might just be playing it with the same way you've been playing Chaos before. Like, it's very important that even for characters that you're not building, you're picking good epiphanies, synergistic epiphanies that can help you clear the run. It is a common card, yeah. Is the new support set damage buff permanent? Yes. You only need to get 3 exhaustible skill cards, which any character in the game can get with the spores, and then it's permanent. Meilin has an upgrade that turns it... Ooh, that is actually huge. Yeah, Malin does have an upgrade that turns it non-unique. That's kind of interesting. Did I check if they stack yet? No, I haven't yet tested if Strike of Darkness stacks with Strike of Darkness. Did we play? Okay, let's have a look. Strike of Darkness increases basic attack damage by 80%. What happens if we use this? Strike of Darkness, it's a different effect. For 1 turn, increase basic attack damage by 100%. Basic attack increases by 80%. It's a different effect. Strike of Darkness at the timed effect and Strike of Darkness in the basic. So this, for example, works. So it probably should work for Ray as well. Yo, Angel, what's up? Meant the support exhaust fragment set. Yeah, that's what I said. Oh, you meant if the support set stack? I don't know. I would assume it's gonna give you 2 counts of it. It's probably gonna stack. Because it's not a turn effect, right? Like, it's not like it could turn into 15% for 1 turn, 15% for 2 turns. It's like a permanent effect, so I don't see a reason why it shouldn't. But I don't have 2 support sets built at the moment. Ebony Lumen costs 20 memory. And it stays at 20 memory even if you epiphany it. Okay, find a Ray card. Okay, let's see if this is too much. Foggy Crystal Ball or RSF17 on Luke? Foggy Crystal Ball. You get enough crit chance on Luke. Karen has 2 different upgrades that aren't unique. Ooh. Wait, that's messed up though. How would that work? What would determine... Like, if that's true, which makes sense. How would that work on a Charon? Like, is it going to buff his futilities? Like, let's say you get yourself the Oath of Vanity or Oath of Vanity here, and then you re-epiphany it into, I don't know, the 200% version? What happens if you have this one that has 100% damage, 100% heal, and this one that has 200% damage? Classic Karen, yeah, like, what the hell happens when you get the 2 of them? Right? Like, does that just break the game? Does the engine crash? Is it based on which upgrade you play first? In the worst of WG, I don't know. True. I do not know. I don't think anybody does. And if they do, they're not telling us. They're keeping it a secret. They're not telling us the secrets of the world. But yeah, so we could get plus 40% damage amount. Turn one of them into a... Wait. Yeah, so we get the 1 cost one, duplicate it, and then re-epiphany this one into this one and this one. That seems like a lot of work for fairly minor gains. Are you trying to finish all mission quests? At the moment, no. Give me a sec here. My chat is not properly working. It doesn't really load the messages. Oh, what's this? Yeah, no, it doesn't. Hello, can we refresh, please? What's this? Where's the best place to farm for Shizuru and what cards are good with her? I was able to build this Shizuru deck on the season planet. Alright, it's time we test this. What did I hunt now in Ray deck now? Entirely depends on what you want to do with your Ray. Okay, so let's take this into the Spiral Tower and test it out with our new Ray. Maybe add a background under the chat with text why the... I mean, there's nothing to do when the background turns white, right? Like this, it's not a problem, right? Sometimes you just have to wait a little. Oh, what did I hunt now? We're looking for the perfect piece to slot into my Shizuru basic attack build. Have I tried the counter with ambush 9? Not yet. The multi-hit set is her best in slot, yes. That is actually kind of a problem. If we end the turn while having the basics in our hand, they go into our draw pile, which is kind of annoying. So I need to be careful. But it makes sense, right? It's an exhaust card, I didn't play it, you know. But still, a bit annoying. What do you think? Do you think people would consider removing her initiation card? I mean, why not, right? Like, if you're playing a deck and you don't intend to get 2 AP value because you're bringing an AP generator from the outside that's not Naja, then sure. Right? Like, if you're not playing her with Naja, if you're bringing anything AP that's not on her, then why not? Uh-oh. We're going to have so many moon slashes. Do you usually reset for Divine Epiphany before first run? If I'm building a Divine deck, yes. If I'm not building a Divine deck, no. Because there's no point to building a Divine deck where you're looking for 4 copies if you can't get 4 copies, right? Is the max dupe in Lilium better than a no dupe Scarlet? Not anymore, no. Ah, instant bind 3. You don't say. Should I use standard pull on partner if I already got all the characters? No. I would use the 300 currency to pick the partner you want. Because otherwise, what if you get a partner that you're not exactly looking for, you know? Just pull Dookie, let's go. Any advice on playing her? The speedrun track on... What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? That looked like a 2012 YouTube intro. Like, What the? I need a replay. I need a replay on that. What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? Let's get the instant replay. What the fuck? It also comes flowing in flipped, right? It's not just enough that it's super zoomed in and pulsating. No, it also comes in flipped. What the hell? That's so dumb. That is so ridiculous. What the fuck is that? That's just stupid. Are we isekai? Agreed. I am clearly isekai. I mean, what else would I be? Like, think about it. Like, truly think about what else would I be? Is Rin worth anything? Rin is amazing. You'd be human? Damn. Nah. Nah, I don't think I'd be human. Nah. I'm an animal. So, Rin is so good that I gladly call her my first main. I have her E4. That's not that important. You don't need her epiphanies. The Season 2 balance changes have treated her well. And I decided to do this, right? Next to 9, for which I got very lucky, she is my only fully rainbowed character in the entire game. Right? She's the only other character I have that has full card restoration. So, yeah. The other one is 9, but I got really lucky on 9. Spore people. Spore people and I am an animal. Close enough. Rin isn't that selfish. I would call her a strong and independent woman. Okay? Rin is not selfish. She is a strong and independent woman. And I shall show you how you can make that happen. Right? So, this right here might be one of Rin's strongest cards. And that is, not only do you get a shield, but you also draw 2 cards. And the 2 cards you draw are only for Rin. Which means if a Rin deck has 6 cards and 2 Arts of Destructions, you will be able to draw your entire Rin deck every single turn without outside help. Right? Just like a simple example. This is still my favorite deck that I have for Rin. Obviously it's from last season, but this is what we cooked up with. We have 6 Rin draw. We had the item to gain shield if drawing through an ability. The ability to gain more shield gain and damage amount using a forbidden card. and when drawing by an ability increasing our damage. We have 2 copies of Darkness Secret Art Annihilation. We had a copy of the Inner Art for plus 60%, was back then, now it's plus 80. Then we have 2 copies of Confiscation for 0 cost, 1 draw, 1 additional Forbidden Draw. And a Portrait of Fury, making this Rin deck 13 draw. This Rin deck has 13 draw cards. And the only cards that don't draw are 3 in total. What sets would I run on her? This one. I'd run her in the Orb of Inhibition plus Executioner's Tool set. But yeah, if you want a quick sum up on what did they do for Rin with this season. They improved all the all these cards right here to now also give you stands, give you stands, give you stands. Right? These 3 cards all gained give you stands. They uncapped this card. This card no longer caps based on skill cards. This can go up to a 10 hitter. And they also improved the damage from 30 to 40 and from 40 to plus 80 while keeping the rest pretty much untouched. Is there anything else they did? No, I think the rest is pretty much the same. Is draw 2 better over move? The move is very, very selfish. Even if you get this with 1 additional draw or 1 additional AP, you still will have to build your teammates to get even more draw, even more AP. Because if you can't draw all 4 Arts of Destruction every turn, and you can't pay for 5 Black Dances and 5 Darkness Secret Art Annihilations, then going for multi-copy Darkness Secret Art Destruction just isn't worth it. The Olea buff. The most important thing you need to know is Will of Light is now 1 cost cheaper. It was 2 cost, now it's 1 cost. Growing creatures. These ones now retain 15% more damage. These ones now scale faster. These ones now shield more and heal more. And overall, all her healing has been boosted in terms of numbers. But what you really want to know is why is everybody glazing her? That's because of this card. It's a card that you can retain, a card that retains itself, and a card that applies a buff that is multiplicative to your final damage value. Name the deck Independent Woman at least. I don't name my decks. My decks name me. Right? Like my decks make my name. I don't name decks. Whoa. Bars. So. What more could I do with this Ray deck? We could try this duplication trick where we get Resonating Darkness and meditate on it twice to get the unique 1 cost or less and the Void card buff. We will definitely try to get both the 150 and the 100% basic attack 80% basic attack version. I gotta try the Karen one. I don't know. Hey Kyosan, thank you for the raid. This is just a little unfortunate. It's getting a little too late, and it's about time that I close my eyes. I don't think we'll do much longer, but I appreciate the raid regardless. You know what? There's actually a really good idea. That is something I saw yesterday. There were like 2 or 3 people that raided us yesterday. There were 2 or 3 people today. How about re-raid someone else? Huh? Might as well do that as well. Let's see if there's anybody currently doing anything in Chaos Zero Nightmare. Let's have a look. Should we raid Cosmic? What do you think? Might as well, right? Alright. Let's go. Search and filter. Chaos. How do you do this? It's been so long for me. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Let's go. Awesome. I think we're doing the thing. Alright, people. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Been a pleasure. We'll be back tomorrow. Let's go.